There's a bunch of crazy stories written by the Brothers Grimm. And now you're gonna learn all about them, listening to the Brothers Grimm.
Students and scholars, friends and relations, welcome to the Brothers Dim podcast, where we discuss the crazy stories, the bonkers stories, what's the word, Mike?
Wacky?
All sorts of those stories written down and recorded by the Brothers Grimm in Germany in the early 1800s. My name is Phil.
And my name is Mike.
And today we are going to be discussing Story 28, The Singing Bone, which, by the way, Mike, I don't know if you were aware of this. That was my nickname in college.
I have known you by many nicknames, but I had not heard that one previously.
Oh, sure. Yeah, people knew me as the Singing Bone, I think.
I like it. It fits.
I'm not sure that that's actually true. You know what happened just now, Mike? I lied to you.
Oh.
I lied to you in a way to try and make jokes. I don't even think it's that good of a joke, but that's all right. How are you doing?
I think it was pretty funny.
Well, thank you.
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I've got a bit of a cough. Jamie got, well, Jamie, I mean, we're always sick. This is the curse of having a less than 1 year old who's about to be one. His birthday is soon, but he got an ear infection again, which means two things. One, we have to go to the ENT, and he's probably going to have to get tubes put into his ears.
Ooh, I did that a lot.
You put tubes into your own ears?
No, I had many tubes operations when I was a kid.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Constant ear infections and tubes. Yeah, no, my one of my eardrums is so screwed up that whenever any doctor looks in it, they're like, "Oh my god." It's like half Teflon. It's all screwed.
Boy.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he'll be okay. Anyways, when we went into the doctor's office, they pulled at one point a blueberry-sized ball of wax.
Oh my god, that is so satisfying.
Out of his ear. And then when we got home, he started walking around. I think that his balance was all thrown off on account of one of his ears being all clogged up. And
I'm not sure how if that's how it works, but that's a fantastic story that you can just tell him and he will tell everybody that he knows.
He started walking when we got home.
Yeah.
He was fussy for days and days and days. And then when we got home, he was smiling and happy and just started walking around.
Nice.
And the thing is, I mean, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to tell you, not a doctor, about my theory.
I think if you're going to tell anybody your medical theories, I think I'm probably the right one because I think not a doctor.
And this is the correct forum. A podcast about the Brothers Grimm stories. I digress. Mike.
Yes.
Would you take us through the plot of Grimm story number 28, The Singing Bone?
It would be my pleasure. So there's a boar marauding in the countryside. Stop me if you've heard this one before. I think we have. It is destroying farmers' fields. It is killing cattle. It is attacking people. It's no good.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, I would not be a fan. Nobody's able to catch it or stop it. The king finally posts a notice that anybody who rids them of the boar can marry his princess daughter. Back to that trope of, do a thing and you can have a person. So there's these two brothers. They're poor brothers of a poor man. They agree to try it. The older one is described as crafty and shrewd, and the younger is innocent and simple. So you can kind of set up where this is going. In order to make sure they find it, the king has them enter the wood from opposite sides. Shortly after entering, the younger is met by a little man who gives him a black spear and promises that it will slay the boar and it will leave him untouched. Sure enough, he comes across the boar shortly after that. It charges him and he kills it handily. No problems whatsoever. So he slings it over his shoulder. He's walking out of the wood on the side that his older brother was coming in, trying to spot him on the way out. Doesn't come across a brother, but does come across a party house right by the entrance of the wood, where he does find his brother, who's been sitting there drinking the entire time, trying to get up courage to go in and slay the boar.
A party house, huh?
Right, yeah, party house.
Okay.
Making merry. The older sees the younger with the boar and immediately hatches an evil plot. He invites the younger to stay and drink, gets them all liquored up. They stay till dark. Finally leave. They come to a bridge on their way back And the elder invites the younger to cross first, and as soon as he gets halfway across, he crushes him in the head, kills him instantly, throws the body over, and takes the boar for himself. He brings this back to the king, presents it triumphantly, gets to marry the princess. Everyone assumes the younger must have been killed by the boar, and everybody lives happily ever after. Except years later, a shepherd spots a bone in the sand while crossing the bridge. He jumps down to fetch it for a mouthpiece, which is I don't know. We can get
into the mouthpiece for an instrument in a little bit if you want to skip.
Yeah, he fetches it for a mouthpiece for his horn. But as soon as he fashions it as such and tries to blow into it, it sings a song all by itself about being killed by his brother for the boar in order to marry the princess. The shepherd thinks this is amazing. Oh my God, this thing sings for itself. It's so cool. I got to take it to the king. So he takes it to the king. King hears the song and immediately realizes what has happened. They dig up the bones. The older brother doesn't have any defense. He admits to the crime. They sew him in a sack and drown him, and then lay the bones to rest in the churchyard. The end.
Dark.
Yeah. The end of this one struck me because in much more the fairy tale style, and even in the Grimm style, typically the younger brother would come back to life after the whole plot has been revealed and, get to live happily ever after. And I was genuinely surprised that they're like, nope, still a bag of bones, but they buried him peacefully in the churchyard.
Yeah, he ended up being buried peacefully, but yeah, no one has a happy ending here.
Yeah.
It simply does not happen.
Well, the king got rid of the boar.
Right.
I suppose he's good. But the princess has lost her lying cheat of a husband.
Oh, which she seemed to be happy with. I feel bad
maybe he was okay
for the second son, right? He had a decent plan.
Yep.
To kill his brother, which it wasn't that he was a drunk and that's why he was at the bar, right?
Yeah.
It said he was looking for courage.
Right.
So he was trying to courage up. This was his plan. He kills his brother, and then years later, not to defend a murderer, but then years later, some dipshit comes walking in with a clarinet or whatever. And then he's been married to the king's daughter for a while. Nobody knew the first brother in the first place, right? Nobody knew either of these guys. So no one should care. And then what's weird is the brother doesn't even deny it. He's just like, he immediately, I think he's been so racked with guilt, maybe, although they don't say that. But he immediately gives up the story as opposed to just like, I don't know about that bone.
It sure is a weird song it's singing.
In all honesty, if this happened today, I think you could skate. If you were like the only evidence is a bone, a magic bone.
Josh, this evidence is inadmissible.
Yeah.
Sustained.
Maybe the princess was tired of his shit. She didn't seem to fight for him very much.
Well, I mean, it's not like she has any agency here. She was married off for a boar killing.
I don't even know.
We've been over that one ad nauseum.
Yeah, no, the princesses don't get a lot of.
Thanks for doing that thing. Here's a person.
I've got a little bit about that. The thanks for doing this thing, and I've got a little bit about. There's a story we're doing next week called "The Devil and the Three Golden Hairs," where we go a lot more into that. Where there's fetch quest isn't the right word, I guess, but tacked on to the end of one type of story, you get this. Well, now you got to go do a thing. In this case, kill a boar.
We're back to ridiculous capital punishment. So there's that.
Yeah. What was capital punishment here? I forget.
The older brother was sewn in a sack and drowned.
Just exactly. It's simple. as if you're a sack of kittens.
That's it.
Here's I felt this story again. This is one of those stories. It's a little more than a page.
Yeah, this is it's dense.
Very economical.
Yeah.
I think, including something that kind of made me laugh. There wasn't even really enough for their first line to make me laugh, but the as he's walking in, apropos of nothing, a little man gives him a magic spear, and then he's gone. And that's the last. It's first we hear about this little man, and the last we hear about him.
Yeah, I would like to know more about the little man.
I would love to know more about the little man. There's nothing. It's just through the woods. Here's a guy and gone.
This is the little man's chance to get like a decent bride. I mean, maybe he's already married. Who knows?
Or
I mean, he already has the spear. Why doesn't he kill the boar and claim the princess?
It's such a weird plot hole, but also not a plot hole because it's not really a plot hole. Because all you need to say is, well, there was a man with a spear. He sees this guy and he gives him the spear.
Yeah.
How is that a plot hole? And correct. I mean, it's not, I guess.
I guess we're just missing the part where like the innkeeper tells him to seek the little man in the wood that has a special spear to perform this fetch quest.
Would have been an extra sentence. We don't need that extra sentence.
I mean, who needs that?
We're already just over a page here, guys. We got to snap this up. Graham Anderson, professor emeritus of classical studies at the University of Kent, identified the ancient Greek story of Meleager and the Caledonian boar as a possible early variant of this story. So the boar I'm interested in. I feel like this is the second time we've seen a boar. And
it was one of those fetch quests that the king, who was also marrying off a princess, gave. It was the valiant little tailor. Yeah.
Valiant Taylor had a boar.
Didn't like him, so he was just like, here's another. Oh, no. Well, there's one more. Actually, no, there's another one. All right, yeah. Well, how about you do this thing too?
The Valiant Tailor. I guess there was a boar and then a unicorn.
And the giants.
And the giants. Were boars this goddamn scary?
I don't know, but this was a terrifying boar that was, quote, ripped up people's bodies, which is a very strange way of putting it.
Yeah,
I was picturing a very, very large wild boar. But then this little guy, the younger brother, I picture him as smaller, the younger brother, kills it and just like slings it over his shoulder. That didn't make a whole lot of sense in the realm of physics to me. But
well, they're not very big, but I guess you don't have to be very big to be terrifying. Boar is what killed King Robert Baratheon in Game of Thrones, by the way.
That is true.
Lancel may have given him some drugged wine, but still, King Robert had a whole crew with him.
One could argue that his lifestyle killed him.
Yeah. But the boar was the straw that broke the
Lannister's back.
Right? Like they're biggish, but not crazy big.
Right. But I'm picturing this kid as like a 16-year-old wet noodle. And, wins the day by a gift from a little man.
Yeah. There was one of the stories of Hercules or Heracles, depending on your translation. Same guy. But one of the 12 labors of Hercules was labor number 4, capture the Erymanthian boar. I don't know much about that, but I think this idea of a mystical boar might go back a long ways, even though boars themselves aren't really that fucking terrifying to me. Again, I've never hunted one, so I don't know if maybe it's wacky or like Robert Baratheon may have been the type to be like, I'm going to go get him myself just with my bare hands. Yeah. I know it's dangerous because he wanted to jump into the scrum.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a lot of years since I've either read those books or.
But he was bored and drunk all the time.
Yeah. All right.
What was the first line to make you laugh? Because I bet it was the same one for me.
Oh shit, I had it. I think it was the little man that just showed up and gave him a spear. But what was the first line that made you laugh?
The first line of the song that the bone sings, which is, friend, you blow upon my bone because I'm 12.
No, that's a good one. Do you have a moral?
No bad deed goes unpunished.
That works for me. I don't think I have one written down.
Damn it.
Yeah, I know.
Can't just leave it on mine. We all know I'm bad with morals. I mean, it's certainly not anything about the younger brother finally getting justice.
Yeah, I suppose there's something to be said about the truth shall win out in the end.
Yeah.
I guess in a sort of Edgar Allan Poe telltale heart sort of way. It's got the truth will get out. Like if you do something evil, you can keep it hidden for a while, but
there's always a piece of evidence that's going to come to light and it's going to plague you until it's actually found out. I mean, that's an age-old moral.
Yeah, that works for me. There seems to be a theme with the Brothers Grimm with fetch quests. And we're going to get into this again with Story 29. And we got into this with, I call it fetch quests, whatever you want to call it. With, was it the White Snake?
What were the quests there?
He could speak to animals, and then the princess, before he could get married to her, was like, oh, pick up all these seeds. And he's like, I'll use my ant friends. And
Oh, yes.
I'll use my raven friends. And
Oh, she was terrible.
oh yeah. one of the princesses that do have agency.
Oh, that was the one I was thinking of. It wasn't the valiant little tailor, but that's the one where the king and the princess both were like, oh, fuck this guy. Let's send him to do something else. And then finally he finds the golden apple that makes her fall in love with him. Everything's okay. They stop coming up with quests.
Oh, well, yeah, because she got love potioned or whatever the fuck.
Roofied.
Yeah.
So this one's interesting because my youngest read this to me in the car months and months ago. They read me this one, and as it was going, the whole bit about the two brothers entering from opposite sides of the wood, and then meets the little man, and I was like, there's something magical is going to happen. And I'd already spun it out in my head that one of them was going to get turned into a boar, and then the other brother would slay that one, and it'd be this like Greek tragedy where it's like, oh no, I killed my brother instead. Yeah, so this ended up being a little more simple than that.
In that case, yeah, and it's more just simple murder for jealousy instead of
right
some magic ass quest. But I saw like kind of an interesting Costa Rican variant. It's called the olive grove flower.
Really?
In this case, the king is blind. He finds out a potion can save him, so he sends out his 3 sons to go searching for something called the olive grove flower. They all go out. They meet a beggar woman who asks help for her son. The older brothers are like, no, fuck you, old lady. I ain't helping you. Finally, the youngest son.
Yep.
Yeah, the youngest son does help. She's like, oh, here's a flower. This will cure your father's blindness. And then the brothers kill him for the flower. They go home, split the kingdom between the two. They're like, I don't know what happened to our younger brother. I guess he died in the woods,
Whoopsie-doo.
And then the same beats kind of play out where someone finds the bone, makes an instrument out of it, and then the mouthpiece magically tells a tale of woe. King finds out about it, imprisons the boys. Everybody dies unhappy.
The end.
Do you have any other notes? There's not a lot to work with for this story.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of these fetch quests, well, I was going to say, so the note I have is, does no one ever think about taking these on as a group? It's always just like one dude be like, oh, well, he died. Well, that guy died. Let's send another one.
I mean, well, for the purposes of the story, yes. If a kingdom was being hounded by a single fucking pig, right? That's an easy thing to take care of.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, like with King Robert Baratheon.
You didn't have to
got
wrestle
10
it.
guys. You can go kill a boar, right? I've had farm animals before. I don't think I would have any real trouble.
I don't
guns.
I don't know if you've haven't been up against a pig, because
I've never been. Yeah, but like
I've had an angry pig try to get me out of his stall, mostly just by trying to toss me, which was partly entertaining, but also unnerving. He also was a little bitey.
Stronger than you think. All right. Well, I take it back then.
Pigs are very strong.
Yeah. I mean, horses are very strong. I just think
That's
that if I had
true.
a group of dudes, I'd be able to do it.
I'm just picturing like the lions on the back of an elephant as it runs around. They're just clinging for their lives.
Here's what I think. You know the pyramids?
Yes.
Are you impressed by them?
Yes, but not in the conspiracy theory aliens built it way.
No, not aliens. Because and here's my point. Like, it's not that I'm not impressed by them. But I think if I had 10,000 slaves and 20 years to do something, I could also build the pyramids.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
With that much manpower and brain power, presumably. I mean, I think for just a pig, send out a group of soldiers. You're fine. I don't have a lot to work with. I thought of a Hollywood pitch a little bit.
Yeah.
If you want to hear.
Oh, please.
So when I was reading through the Costa Rican variant that we spoke about, the olive grove flower, it reminded me just a little bit of King Lear. Because there's a king with failing health.
Yeah.
There's 3 offspring that are sort of trying to win favor for the king for just long enough to get the crown. And I think that I could start off the way that Lear does, but where Cordelia, who's kind of the youngest of the 3 daughters in Lear and the only good one, where Cordelia dies at the hand of her sisters.
It's always the youngest.
I know. Well, no, then it goes back and back and back. So Cordelia in King Lear, she marries the king of France, and then France invades. In this one, she dies and goes and marries Hades or Pluto. Depends on whether or not you and I are setting this tale in Rome or Greece. But it works anywhere with the god of death, right? Hell, if you want to go back up and do some Viking shit and add another short story to the Vikings versus Zombies collection. But yeah, she goes and she marries the god of death, and then basically it's King Lear, but with an army of the undead instead of the French. where everything except yeah, that's the only difference. And how would that change King Lear? And can I tell you something?
Yes.
I don't want to say that I'm better than Shakespeare,
but
I think in this one case, I would be more interested in if someone came to me and said, okay, King Lear, but with an army of the undead instead of the French, I would instantly be in line for tickets to that.
Yeah, no, it's got a little more pop to it.
And I love King Lear. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good story.
Yeah. That I think, though, I mean, I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
No,
Okay.
I do not.
That should bring us then to the end of story 28, The Singing Bone. Sleep tight, and we will see you next time.